Amy, thank you so much for being here with us. How do you scale a customer-led mindset across a global team?
That's a great question. At Mixpanel, at some point, as you're leading a team of hundreds of go-to-market professionals with 9,000 customers, it's impossible for leadership to be deeply involved in interacting with every single customer. So being able to really embed the culture and the mindset of, customer first is a critical way to scale. For me personally, I think it really, really comes down to establishing a really strong culture. And what that really ends up being is really around like two key things. One is role modeling. So it's possible that I could ask my team, how are you driving revenue today? How are you going to upsell this customer? But instead, I always ask them, how are you delivering customer value? As a SaaS business, we think about annual recurring revenue as our primary growth metric. But at the end of the day, what we're really delivering is annual recurring customer value. And I talk about that all the time with my teams. So them understanding what's really important to me as like a leader, and also that being like very core to how we talk about our business and talk about our customers, is one way we scale this customer first mindset.
How do you keep culture aligned when teams grow or pivot so quickly?
So you have to think about productizing your culture. So I say that because as a go-to-market leader, my product are my people. And on the product side, definitely we have core differentiation there. But with technology advances and AI, kind of developing so quickly, at the end of the day, the competitive advantages we have really come down to people. So it's possible to copy products. It's possible to copy, software. What you can't really copy are like the depth of your relationships and like the way your customers feel when they believe that you're a trusted partner. And so the way we productize this and go to market is, every single meeting with somebody from Mixpanel should feel like it's thoughtful, it's considerate, and it's about the customer problems and not about, interacting with a sales organization or interacting with a customer success professional. And so we really think about like interactions with the customer as parts of our go-to-market product. And we try to deliver a really consistent experience across all of those things. And it could come from, like the way we structure the meeting, the way we think about presentations, the way we lead a customer through like a proof of concept. Like all of those things are pretty tightly managed from an experience perspective, because what we're essentially delivering is like, productized human touch.
So what are the key questions that your teams are asking you to really drive growth that's both sustainable and customer-centric?
We always ask ourselves, like, what's going to drive customer value in the future? And I think it's so important to really understand how your customers' needs are evolving, because that changes the way you deliver, the value of your product or the value of your people. And, regardless of how we, basically think about our immediate short-term, ROI delivery to our customers, we have to think about the long-term value. So there's been no question that I think, this has been a really challenging couple of years for a lot of customers. And, with budgets being cut, you have to demonstrate that you're a partner for the long term. Sometimes that means trading off, short-term revenue for us. But the customers really, really respect, those long-term partnerships, and they reward you with more loyalty. So that's a really key way that we think about, how do you sustain this over time? It's really about thinking long-term and being able to sort of meet the needs of your customers' business challenges when they're having them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.